This is Dawn Fraser from Living Your Best Life at 60, and this morning I'm going to be making a pumpkin carrot bundt cake. We're going to need 2 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, a quarter teaspoon of nutmeg, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, a teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of salt, 3 eggs, 3/4 cup buttermilk, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, a half a cup of walnuts and sweetened coconut flakes, 2/3 cup of crushed pineapple, a quarter cup of vegetable oil, 1 cup of pure pumpkin, 1 cup of brown sugar, a half a cup of raisins, 2 cups of shredded carrots, and for our icing, we're going to need a cup of powdered sugar and 3 tablespoons of milk. So let's get started. We're going to preheat our oven to 350 degrees, and then we're going to prepare our bundt pan. I've oiled this very well. I've used a generous amount of oil so that my cake doesn't stick to my pan. And now I'm just going to sprinkle some flour in here. We want to make sure that we cover every part of our bundt pan with oil so that our cake doesn't stick. We're going to whisk together 2 cups of flour, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, a teaspoon of baking soda, teaspoon of salt, two teaspoons of cinnamon, and a quarter teaspoon of nutmeg. Once they're combined, we're going to set them aside. We're going to combine our 3/4 cup buttermilk, our cup of brown sugar, 1/3 cup of oil, teaspoon of vanilla, and our cup of pumpkin. We're going to use a mixer to blend these together. Now we're going to add in our 3 eggs. And we're going to use the mixer again. Now we're going to gradually mix in our dry ingredients. Now we're going to stir in our 2 cups of shredded carrots, half a cup of walnuts, a half a cup of crushed pineapple. And I want to say, just draining it from the can is not enough. You need to squish it out with your hands. This should not have any extra juice in it. Our half a cup of shredded coconut, our half a cup of raisins, and we're going to gently stir these in. And it's going to look like that. It's time to put our batter into our prepared pan. We're going to spread our batter across the pan. We're going to bake our cake for 55 minutes at 350 degrees. I've taken my cake out of the oven and I'm going to let it cool for 15 minutes, but look at this. It looks fantastic. While we're waiting for our cake to cool, we're going to make our glaze. I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of milk to a cup of powdered sugar. And then we're just going to stir that in. That looks good. We're going to set this aside for later. I've let my cake cool for 15 minutes, so I'm going to take a butter knife and gently go around the edges. And I'm just going to turn this upside down. Actually, I'm going to take my serving plate, stick it on top, and flip it. Oh, that came out perfect. It is still steamy, so we're going to let this set for another 25 to 30 minutes before we put our icing on. Our cake is cooled, so now I'm going to drizzle on our glaze. This turned out amazing. I'm actually going to make this dish again for Thanksgiving. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like and subscribe. Thank you for cooking with me.